How's everybody doing? I'm Lauren Gilbert with State Farm. My office is in Vidor, Texas. This is Brittany Barnes. She's here in Beaumont. We're just going to talk to you a little bit how we got into State Farm, some internship opportunities that we have, and really how we think that it would benefit y'all in the future. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to stop us. We'll talk to you a little bit more. If you'd like to sign up at the end and see about any potential internships with us. Okay. So I'm from Louisiana originally. I went to McNeese, and I was going to be a CPA. And I did an internship at a CPA firm junior year and quickly realized that really just wasn't for me. So I for sure wasn't going to be changing my major, not at that point. So I tried to see, what else that I can do. I still have my accounting degree. And they had a luncheon at our school for insurance. It was with a different company, but I decided to go to that. It was more of an internship with them. And I saw that was something that I really enjoyed. So I took that on with them. They ended up wanting me to come on full time, so it was something that I did with them. Only about 6 months. They were commission only, bringing in your own clients, so it was a little bit more difficult. Something kind of just slow paced for me. So I got in with State Farm, something I really enjoyed. And the reason I think it's so passionate to me is my grandmother moved around the top here, so that was something I was able to help her with. And really, if we would have known about the insurance product, long-term care, really could have helped our family big time. So that's the reason that I really stay in insurance and something I really enjoy. And I'll kind of let Brittany talk to you about why with her.
Yeah, so I am from this area, from Beaumont Groves, kind of grew up all over the Golden Triangle. I went here to Lamar, was here for 5 years. I majored in psychology pre-med. I did the McNair program while I was here, and worked with a professor in the exercise science department, and I just knew that I was going to med school. I wanted to be a reconstructive plastic surgeon to do to help with trauma patients and children born with deformities and that kind of thing. And it's what I wanted to do since I was little bitty, and there was no backup plan or anything like that. And so did really well here at Lamar, was part of the honors program and was super involved on campus and all that kind of good stuff. And got ready, actually the McNair Scholars Program. We did some really great research. We were published, and being published is really big for getting into med school. So I just knew, I had, my grades were great, we were published, everything was going to be just fine. And so I went to take my MCAT and didn't do so well on my MCAT. Studied, after I took my MCAT, I graduated, so I decided that I was just going to study again for a second time and try again, no big deal. So I studied for another 3 or 4 months. Woke up from morning till dawn, studied for that MCAT. And I don't know how many of you in here believe in Jesus or are people of faith, but I just felt like the Lord was telling me, this is no longer what I have for you. And it was really, really heartbreaking. And I felt like that was just, it couldn't be. This is what I've done, and everything is leading to this. I'm ready to go. And I should have listened, because I went back to take my MCAT the second time, and I had studied double the time the second time than I did the first, and I did worse the second time than I did the first time. So I took that as a very specific, direct word to me. And so I just began looking to see, okay, what would the Lord have me do next? And through the time, I actually got some time to take care of my grandmother as well, and just really had no idea what I was going to do. I came back here, started taking classes to get my master's in nutrition and dietetics. I thought, well, maybe I'll be a nutritionist, maybe I'll, be a registered dietitian or something like that. And I just realized that everything was fine. I did great, but that it just didn't seem right. So one of my cousins was actually in the State Farm agent aspirant internship, or just the agent aspirant program. And he always would come over to the house and just talk about how great it was and how much he loved it, and just how it was so different from what people would usually think of when they would think of insurance in sales and that kind of thing. And so he would always tell me, Brittany, you should try it, you should try it. Well, eventually I went and talked to the person that was my agent that I went to work for, and he basically told me, if you can go and pass your property and casualty, which is your licensing exam, then you'll have a job. So I was thinking, okay, no big deal. I'll go and pass this exam. If I don't pass, no big deal.
Used to that.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal, because I really just, I personally didn't think that I was going to like it. But it was something to do to pass the time. So I went, passed my exam, no problem, went to work for him, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I realized that, like Lauren was saying, there are many products that really help serve people, and they meet people's needs in places where they're at. And something that's really special to me about insurance is that you are protecting lives, you're protecting families. Most people think of insurance as, it's just irritating, it's expensive, you don't know whether your rate's going to go up or down, you never got into a ticket or accident, we get it all the time. But really it's so much more than that. It really is the foundational level of protection for a family. And there in that office, I got to meet with the richest of rich and the poorest of poor, red, yellow, black, white, it didn't matter who was walking into my office, but I get to do life with these people, and I get to serve them, and I get to make a really great living for my family, a flexible living for my family. And so we'll kind of go into talking about why we enjoy what we do and how it helps our family and the benefits of those things, and I'll let Lauren share a lot of that with you. But I realized that not only was I able to grow professionally, but I was able to just really begin to develop myself as a business individual, as a professional, but also still serve people the way that I wanted to serve them as a doctor. So it really brought the two together, and even in my first year and the mass craziness of what I've experienced, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So we passed out a sheet to you, kind of just to be going over, and just notice at the bottom that both of our names and phone numbers are on there, so if it's anything that y'all wanted to talk about later. Basically, getting in an internship with State Farm, you'll be doing yourself and the agent, depending on really what you want to get out of this. If it's something that you think you'd be interested in later, you might want to get more into the sales side of things. The bank specialist will be talking about the different phases that we have. And it could be something after internship, even if you want to still work part-time, if you're still in school, we're willing to work with you on your schedule, and then it can turn into more later down the road. So you'll be meeting with your agent and be going over the monthly goals, and that's in all lines that you'll be doing or whatever calls that it is that you'll need to be making. Forecasting, managing the agent prospects in our office, making your outbound calls, and then also you can, if you'd like to, we'd like to get you doing event marketing. So it's actually getting out of the office. We'll probably go with you the first 1 or 2 times, and it's something that you can take on later. That can be in the week, or maybe it would be a Saturday. We'll usually either coffee time for the week, or if you just want to make those hours. We would love anybody that has really a leadership skill, strong work ethics, really going to be needed. You'll be able to relate with all of our customers, setting appointments. It's something that, just see if you like it. I think the biggest thing with internships, and what we've both talked, whether it be negative or positive, you'll either maybe get into it, realize that's not what you want to do, and everybody knows that it's more of a short-term commitment. So it's not like you're getting into a new job and you're testing out, you're wasting people's time. You and your employer both know that it's going to be something short-term. So if it's bad, well, now you know. And if it's good, it's something that you can go more long-term with it. So we have, like I said, a couple of different phases. Your first 2 phases could probably go together, depending, again, what you want to get out of it. We will be flexible with your hours. We want to make sure that you're getting school number 1 first and then getting anything with us. Really don't have to have any certifications, any kind of license. We can kind of get you doing a couple of different things, making outbound phone calls, setting appointments, like I said, the event marketing. And your second phase, which really you can combine the 2 if you would want to, get started a little bit faster on commissions, is you can get bank license. So that's not a state test that you have to do. Honestly, we can get it within the first week. You can do checking, savings accounts, student visas for your classmates or anybody that you know that can help out build credit for them. you get a $25 commission off of it, talking with different vehicle loans, things like that, up to $150. So you're going to be paid. We're going to do an hourly plus commission, and it's, again, whatever you want to get out of it. So I think it's something that can kind of get you started and see if that you'd like to actually get licensed. Brittany will be talking to you about the next phases. That's whenever you'll have to do a state test, but you'll be licensed. It's not just State Farm, so if you decided to go to a different company later, you'd have your license done.
Absolutely. So, like she said, we have it's four main phases that the internship is comprised of, and like she said, the first phase, just the basics. Second would be bank. Really, once you move more into phase 3 and 4, you're really learning a little bit more about our insurance products, kind of the meat and potatoes of what we do at State Farm. So you'll be looking at your property and casualty, beginning to get licensed in that area. You have to be licensed in property and casualty by the state of Texas in order to sell auto and fire insurance. And so the next phase is just moving into learning more about those products, being able to position those products, being able to have comprehensive conversations with folks about, what their assets are, what are we protecting. A lot of times you don't realize how much we really do get into comprehensive conversations about their financial background and what everyone has going on in their life. We have to know these things in order to properly protect them. Otherwise, it's like coming in with a blindfold on. So beginning to learn about those products. Daily accountability and measurement will start at that point. We'll kind of track and help you learn how to track your activity. So in this particular profession, just like a certain level of activity will produce X amount of policies or whatever it is that you're looking for. And so there are ways that we can help you determine, how many policies would you like to sell? What are your goals? Okay, well, we need to look at how much activity you need to do, and there's ways of measuring and tracking those. At that point, your income begins to increase just slightly. We'll pay you a little bit more per hour, and then, of course, commission on your PNC production or the fire and auto products that you begin to sell at that point. And then moving on into phase 4 of the internship is more of the comprehensive, the overall, the overall review of just what it looks like to be either a State Farm team member or moving on into an agent aspirant role after that. So we do a whole lot more than just property and casualty products, auto and fire. We also, like she said, we're a bank, so we do a lot of banking and financial products. We also sell life and health and long-term care products, like she had mentioned before. So these are things that really begin to get at the core of families. And so you'll begin to learn how all of those play in together and how you're able to really build a plan for families. At that point, you'll have to be licensed in life and health. And most of the time, your agent will help you do that. It's not something that you have to do on your own. But we'll essentially walk you through the process. I like to look at it like a McNair Scholar. They'll kind of take you and walk you through the process. We help you and walk you through the process at that point. We'll continue to do daily accountability measurements. We'll help you begin to create your own, not business plans, but many goals and many plans just to help you in your trajectory and wherever you're going. So at that point, your income structure then increases just a little bit more, and then, of course, you're also paid on any commission of products that you are selling as well.
And I think if it's something that you enjoyed with that and it's something that you want to know that you want to be the next State Farm agent, that's something I think is amazing with State Farm, what they will get you prepared for, instead of just getting out there and throwing you to the wolves. So we actually have an agent aspirant program in the area. All the offices will participate in. So that's saying that, we're going to help you with your business plan. We're going to have you ready for that interview. You're going to have real experience before you get there for the interview working in our office, sharing with all the other aspirants in the area different ideas, what they're doing well, how they can help you with it. And that's something that you can go anywhere in the nation. So it's not that you have to be in Texas or Louisiana or anywhere local. You can go to New York, wherever you want to go. So they'll set you up for all across the nation, kind of who's opening. We'll help you with the interview, and then you can move wherever it is and be the next State Farm agent. So you'll have staff underneath you. You'll be the leader of that office. You'll be just the owner of that business. So again, it could be something as small as I had an internship, Lamar and Orange. She wanted to be a chef. She was getting an internship credit, but I feel like even if it's nothing that you want to do long term, we have to have auto insurance, right, to drive on the road. How many of you know what your auto insurance policy does for you, or if you have the right limits, or if you're paying too much? I knew I was legal to drive on the road. That was about it. So that's what most people know. So that's something that we can help you with, even if it's just something that, you know, can help your everyday for your future. It's something you can get out of it, or again, if you want it to be more long-term and stay with State Farm. Has anyone ever done an internship in general before? And was it something, you know, related to your major, or is it something you think you can take on with you? Did you think it was positive or negative experience?
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot.
The other internship I have, she's from Beaumont, and she actually is getting a credit for our class. So that's something that I tell everyone, you know, go talk to your department head, your professor, see if they would actually let you get credit for it. And if they need to talk to us, we'll talk to them. If we need to incorporate anything inside the internship to make it credit for them, we're willing to be open with that. So that's something that I feel like is pretty nice, and you're getting experience out of it. So just let us know, and we can always help you talk to your professors or the department head on that.
Absolutely. And, you know, with this internship, raise your hand, how many of you are business majors? All of you, for the most part? Okay. Any science majors, psychology, pre-med, that kind of thing? Cool. What are the rest of you? Math, language, history? What are you?
Engineering.
Engineering. Great. I always love it when engineers come into my office. You ask a million questions, but it's good. It's good. Anyway, so no matter what it is that you're looking to do, like she said, we can incorporate whatever needs to be incorporated. We have great work ethic, great positive environments, and also, if any of you are ever interested in opening your own business or going into management, holy cow, that's what we are. We are our own entity. State Farm is really special, like she mentioned just a little bit about the agent aspirant program. So if opening up a State Farm office is something that you may be interested in, it is a phenomenal program that will walk you through the process from beginning to end, like she said. They'll help you create a business plan. They'll practice with you interviewing. They'll run through, they literally walk you through the whole process. And it's different from other insurance companies out there because you don't actually buy a State Farm franchise. Many places like Allstate and Farm Bureau and Farmers and all that kind of stuff, you have to buy into it. And it's essentially yours, but you have free reins to do a lot of things, and then you can sell it if you want, all those kinds of things. State Farm is not like that because it's really important to them that we maintain the integrity of State Farm, that we maintain the brand in a certain manner. So although it is our particular location, it's our State Farm can't tell us what to do, anything like that. They can never take it away from us, all of that. It's still very special in that they have what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they want you to be successful because they're giving this to you. Like, you have to be handpicked by them. Not just anybody can have a State Farm office. So that's really special in that the Agent Aspirant program kind of gives you an open inside view into what that looks like and kind of a hands in or a door in to that. You get to learn it from the inside out versus being an outside candidate, which you can come from the outside and open up a location. So we were both agent aspirants, and I think that helped tremendously in preparing us for opening an office. But with that being said, if you're ever interested in just opening a business, you're going to have a business plan. You're going to have to think about how are you going to produce whatever it is that you're looking to produce, whatever it is, the product that you're going to sell. And there are many, starting a business is starting a business. You have to have team members. You have to have capital. You have to know where your money's going. You have to be able to tell what your return on investment is. You have to, all of these things go into it. And so like she said before, there are many different things that you can learn from a State Farm internship rather than just being interested in insurance. So if you have any kind of questions or interest whatsoever, I think that it would be beneficial for you to at least look into it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine starting a State Farm office and not knowing much of anything about it. You have yourself and 4 people under you that really don't know anything about it. So doing the training and getting everyone ready, it's amazing to maybe have 5 years experience to know all the products, everything on the computer. You've been able to be kind of a mini agent inside your agent's office to bounce ideas back and forth, and when you stumble, they're there for you. So when you get out and open your business, it's like that you've been doing it already. Now you just have a new set of team members, a new set of people that you're working with to train them. So it's an amazing opportunity to be able to have that much experience before opening. So we can kind of take your name and number if you'd be interested in talking with us more about it. It doesn't have to be this semester, whichever is good for you, and we have some other agents that would be interested in placing you in their office if we're full.
Okay, does anybody have any specific questions?
So is it a summer internship or semester internship?
Either. It could be either. We've got openings at all times. So it can, and we have internship openings, but we also have full-time and part-time positions that are open as well. So whatever it is that you're interested in, we're willing to bounce ideas off of and help to be as flexible as possible.
Is anyone graduating this semester? So it could be something part-time for you now, and if you're interested, it can turn into full-time when you're done.
Absolutely, great question. Any other questions? I look so excited. Just can't believe it. Yes.
How long do you study for that test that you take before becoming an agent?
So I studied for, there's an online program, and it gives you, it's like a 10-day, there's a thing that says day 1, do chapter 1 and 2, day 2, blah, 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 blah. So you can follow that and be done with it in 2 weeks and then go to take your test. Or I've had people that will literally crunch and study all weekend long and then just go take their test. So it really just depends on you. If you're working and going to school and you really don't have time, it may take you a little bit longer. But it's really not. If you're in college and you are surviving, it's not difficult. Nothing like the MCAT, just to assure you.
Yeah.
So if it's a part-time, then will you schedule the timing or will we schedule?
We're going to work with you. So usually if it's something you're interested in, I ask you to bring in your schedule as soon as you get it. So that way, if it's not going to work this semester, then we have other students that can come in, but maybe we can schedule you for the next semester. So you bring it in and we'll see what we can work with you on. I feel like everybody kind of has a different schedule that's been an internship in my office because we want to make sure that you can get school done with.
Any other questions? Comments, concerns, surprise, outrage?
Well, yeah, you can come and sign up. We have somewhere we can put your name and number, and then we can call you and talk to you a little bit more about it, see if we can fit in your schedule. Thank you.